Hello, everyone. Sorry, I was waiting for Tom to give me a bit more of a nod when the stream was starting. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the FPL watch list. It is one of the busiest game weeks of the season. Game week 14 has just started. Game week 15, we have to use all our transfers before game week 16 when we get our African Cup of Nations 5 transfers. So there is a lot to talk about, but I'm joined by Tom and Stephen once again to talk about it all. Tom, how are we doing? A couple of us sat here as smug Haaland captainers, although we're still on red arrows.
Yeah, but I'm happy I captained Haaland. Obviously, I'm good otherwise. Obviously, Chelsea having a cracking week. Hopefully that gets better. Although if you're listening to the podcast and we've just ruined our week against Leeds, then you can have a laugh. But yeah, I'm good to be back. It's always fun with the midweek game week as well, and 6 games tonight to look forward to.
Stephen, how are we doing?
Yeah, coming off a massive high from the free hit and then followed by the classic FPL, just a highs and lows. I didn't captain Haaland, so I guess you guys can rub that in. But us Bruno captainers still have a game to wait for, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't get to talk about the free hit because Stephen and I were both on free hit and it went very well for the pair of us. It wasn't a bad week for you either, Tom. You did pretty well to match up against those on free. I think you got a decent green arrow, didn't you, last week?
Yeah, it was all right. Just about 120 to 32k. So it's been
then.
worse.
Yeah,
because I had Gakpo and Bruno. Obviously, you guys all took out Bruno. And then I had Thiago.
I put in Foden though, so it was all right.
You free hit to take out Bruno for Foden.
Yeah, and to put Gakpo in.
Yeah, you picked Salah as well. I was unfortunate, but
yeah, I got a Stev off my bench. That was the highlight.
I had marked you for a nice 0-pointer off my bench, and looking back, I actually could have afforded a 4.1 mil defender, and I could have gotten another point there. So that was just. I hope that 1 point won't come back to haunt me.
Yeah, at the end of the season, when you miss out on something by 1 point, then...
I'm going to be so upset if that actually happens. But no, I improved my normal team by 35 points because I would have benched Malik Chow and Josh King, which would have been pretty difficult to swallow. So a nice 35-point increase on the free hit.
Yeah, I got 22 more than I would have done. So yeah, very, very happy with that. I think last week we said I take, somewhere between 1 and 4 points positive if you offered it to me. So to have a massive swing like that, yeah, very happy with it. And I suppose the other benefit is I didn't use the triple captain, which I probably would have done if I hadn't a free hit. So I've still got that to play. Game week 14 has just started. Only a couple of players for me. Haaland, captain, and Semenyo. The transfers I made is I took a -4. I sold Senesi, who was suspended, for Timber, and I sold Ismail Assar, who got injured, for Anderson. My ownership of Sarr this season, I bought him in game week 3. I benched him. He scored and he got injured. I had to sell him in game week 4 for a hit. Game week 11, I bought him again. He blanked in back-to-back games and then he gets injured when I free hit just before he plays Burnley. And I had to sell him for a hit again. I'm never owning him. If I ever come on these streams and say I'm going to buy Ismail Assar again, don't let me do it. But yeah, those were the couple of transfers. I could have played Anderson, but I wanted the Timber value, and Anderson ended up getting 0. So yeah, happy with the transfers at the moment. Just need to see which of my players start and don't start this evening.
You missed out that Sarr scored in all the cup games as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's just a given.
He's trolling you very hard, Harry.
Yeah. I'll just take DEFCON from Anderson every week now. Just give me my 4 points.
Old reliable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll keep it brief because I've got exactly the same as Harry. Haaland captain and Semenyo DEFCONs. That was fun, counting up those recoveries at the end of the game. Obviously, he doesn't get attack and returns anymore, but we take the 4 points. And then, yeah, I also bought Timber for, who did I sell? Senesi, and I did Reinders to Potts to get me down to a budget 8th attacker, a 4.4. So yeah, that's me. I had to play Thiago this week, which wasn't optimal, but it's probably better for my rank if he wipes out that clean sheet, isn't it? Maybe.
I mean, if anyone's going to do it, you'd expect it to be him. So
yeah,
it's never a bad thing starting a penalty taker, especially someone who gets as many penalties as Thiago.
Yeah,
I know.
that's ridiculous. You were saying like 2 weeks ago it can't continue, Harry.
And here it is every week.
Oh, it can.
It can.
Uh,
Steven, you're on screen now.
yeah, onto my team. Yeah, I mean, I didn't captain Haaland, obviously, as you can see. If Bruno gets even half the points that Haaland gets, then I'll probably be happy enough if he got a nice 7 points. Speaking of 7 points, Rangers first on my bench. That is not ideal, but I've been saying to the lads, like, I've been trying to get Rangers out of my team since I got him in, basically, and I've just not had the chance to get him out. So maybe I hold on to him now that he's, playing some minutes for City, but you can never rely on him for consistent minutes. Other than that, yeah, happy enough with the rest of the team. I've only had 3 players play, so a lot of games to be played tonight, and hopefully, I mean, I transferred in Urian Timber for Senesi, and I'm hoping that he doesn't play at all now, so I get those Rangers minutes. I feel like he's the most likely player to not play a single minute, but yeah, we'll see how the games go tonight and tomorrow.
Tonight should be good. 6 games.
Yeah, there's so many games tonight. I've got 8 players to play tonight, and then of course United to go tomorrow. Yeah, the Reinders one's difficult because it's now at the point where he's starting to come good again, but I still don't know reliably every week. Like at home to Sunderland this weekend, you've got a difficult decision now. Do you start him? Because if he starts, you definitely want him, but you still feel a little bit uncertain about whether it's going to be him or whether Cherki comes in. And predicting City this weekend is quite difficult, I think.
So I was thinking about this, right? And like I feel like he's first on my bench if I don't move him and I do another transfer, which we'll get onto. But I'm kind of more happy. Like if I didn't have Rangers, I'd have Elliot Anderson, and I'm more happy to be benching Rangers every week, first on my bench, than I would be Anderson because I just want to start him for his consistent points. But having Rangers first off the bench now, I'm kind of like, I kind of don't mind that.
What's wrong with Elliot Anderson? Leave him alone.
In the case that I need Rangers off the bench, maybe he'll have a mega haul. But like I would want to start Anderson every single week, which would just give me benching headaches.
The Anderson love is crazy, by the way. Starting him every week as a 7th attacker.
Why? What's wrong with that? He's had 4 points. He's had like 25 points in the past 3 weeks.
He scored a penalty he's not going to take again. Yeah.
No, that was previously. He's had 2 assists and he got 2 bonus points in a 2-0 loss last weekend. Okay. We all knew he was a good pick.
But you will get bored of him, though. You will get bored of him.
Yeah, I will get bored of him. Probably by about 10 o'clock this evening, I'll be bored of him.
When he's on 40, when he's on 11 DEFCONs.
Yeah, literally, I've said he's hit 10 DEFCON in every single game so far this season, too many times this week, and then he's going to get 9 tonight. You watch. But yeah, like he's one of those that I've just got to trust that long term he's going to be good enough. There's going to be enough consistency of DEFCON and some attacking returns that as a cheap option, it allows me to do other stuff with my teams. That's what I've got to keep telling myself, I think.
Yeah, good luck. No, he's a good pay. He's a good pay. I'm just annoyed you got a price rise because I had to sell him for a 0.2 loss. But anyway, let's.
He could still be on pens. He could be on pens.
We don't know.
It was emphatic, wasn't it? Like he looked like it was a pretty good penalty. He smashed it in.
I think Igor Jesus will probably take them over him, but he could be second. And Igor Jesus doesn't play 90 every week.
Gibbs White has a dodgy back.
Well, Thomas Tuchel told Gibbs White not to take pens anymore.
Yeah, that's mad.
So
was that not a joke?
Well, he did. Like after he missed one in Europe, and he got left out of the England squad, Thomas Tuchel apparently phoned him and said, "Don't take pens anymore." He said it. Gibbs White said it in an interview. So he said it. There's like a BBC Sport interview with Gibbs White where he said it. So whether it actually happens or not, I don't know. But hopefully Anderson's above him. And then if he's top 2, because Chris Wood seems to have vanished, like who knows where he's gone? He doesn't seem to be anywhere near anything for Forest at the moment. So, top 2, Igor Jesus gets taken off. Here we go, 5.3. Thank you very much. Tom's just jealous. He wants him back.
I am a little bit jealous. I've got Potts now, so I'm right in the bargain basement.
Yeah, I mean, he's on some set pieces as well, to be fair. I quite like him.
So is Rangers.
Yeah, exactly.
Reinders was unlucky with that assist as well. If it landed to Foden inside the box, it would have been.
I was also Haaland. Didn't they give it to Haaland, right?
Yeah, but the Foden outside the box goal, if Foden was inside the box, he would have got the assist from the corner.
Oh yeah, so
But
that's
yeah,
two
that
he's missed
second
out on.
Haaland assist was fun when he kind of just, it kind of hit him and then.
That was really fun. Yeah.
Haaland had 1 assist so far this season, and he got 2 last night. But he was unlucky not to score more goals, I think.
He
So
was,
it
yeah.
was,
Honestly, I'm sitting here saying like, oh yeah, he got a lucky assist. I'm just so lucky he hit the post twice.
yeah, yeah. Anyway, let's move on. We're going to start and talk about a lot of positions because, of course, game week 15, you basically have to use all of your transfers because in game week 16, you get up to 5 additional ones. You get maxed out at 5 transfers. So basically, you want to use all of your transfers this week to make as many changes as you want. So we're going to talk across the positions. We're going to start with Trevor Chalobah, who is not 6 million. He is 5.2 million. But he is getting a lot of attention. His DEFCON looks pretty good. He scored against Arsenal. Some of the Chelsea fixtures coming up don't look too bad. He is probably the most nailed Chelsea defender who's worth buying because Cucurella is probably too expensive. Reece James, we already know that it looks like he's going to miss out. The other centre-back is difficult to predict. So Chalobah's the one that people are looking at. He's at a similar price to a couple of other popular defenders in O'Reilly and Malak Chow. And people constantly are just like, could we just own Chalobah for a long period of time? Because he's ticked along pretty well this season, Tom, no?
Yeah, he has. Sadly, I haven't owned him this year, but he's always been a goal threat. Like, if you look at his numbers, even when he played under Tuchel, remember he scored on his debut, scored against Norwich, I recall. He scored like 3 goals before January for Crystal Palace last season. And he's always...
He's the fourth highest scoring defender, 4 behind Timber, 5 behind Munoz, and then 11 behind Gabriel.
Yeah, he's got at least 6 points in 5 of his last 6 starts. He started every game he's been available for. Obviously, was suspended against Brighton. I think, not that it matters now for game week 15, but I suspect he'll start tonight. I mean, I would play him tonight with Badiashile, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, even if he doesn't start tonight, he'll be back in for Bournemouth for sure. And then it's Everton at home, Newcastle away is difficult, but then it's Villa, Bournemouth at home. So there's 3 of the next 5 at home. Bournemouth look pretty poor right now. We're playing them twice in the next 5. And yeah, he's just a bit of an all-round package. Goals. He's our best bet for DEFCONs. He's the only Chelsea defender to hit it more than once, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's hit it 4 times. It's not like setting the world alight, but yeah, if you're going to go for a Chelsea defender, he's there. I suppose it's how he matches up with someone like a Chow or a O'Reilly or a Lacroix at a similar price. Stephen, you've got Chow. Does he feel he's probably the one I would go with if I was buying at that price?
I feel like we're in an interesting point now where there's so many defenders you could go for. Like if you tried to pick all the defenders, you'd end up playing a back 5 because you have, Timber as an Arsenal option. Obviously at that price point, if we're talking about Malik Chow, Lacroix, these type of players, you're going to maybe want to play all of them every week. But yeah, Chalobah seems like one of those players that you could definitely just maybe would you just set and forget him at this stage because Chelsea defense is performing quite well, and yeah, at his price, with his defensive contributions data, I think he's a great pick. But right now, I am happy to have Malik Chow in my team, not necessarily over Chalobah, but if I was picking between the two, I'd maybe just lean towards Malik Chow because of Newcastle's defensive data is just slightly better than Chelsea's.
Yeah, I think I probably would go Chow. I mean, the fixture this week is a better entry point, right? Burnley at home, but they also have Burnley away, Leeds at home, Wolves away in the next sort of 7 or 8 games. So there are some nice fixtures there for Newcastle. The other big one is at Manchester City. He was very popular on free hit. He was then popular midweek in Nico O'Reilly with Nori going to the African Cup of Nations soon. Tom, any love for him, or do you worry too much about City defensively?
I like him. I think over the next kind of like 10 weeks, he'll be great. But I think this week is the prime week for a rest. Because you would think Pep's going to want him against Real Madrid. So if there's going to be a week before Nori goes to AFCON, I think it will be this week. Would it stop me transferring him in if I had like Makieli or Estev on the bench? Probably not. I don't think you can base your transfers too much on one week. Although next week we get 5, so maybe you can wait. But I prefer Chow. I think he's the best pick. I think Newcastle's fixtures are really good.
Yeah.
I think that's a great point. I hadn't actually considered that in terms of giving Ait Nuri minutes before he goes to AFCON. We'll see if Pep actually does that. I feel like he's unpredictable in that sense. It would be the sensible thing to do, but yeah, Nico O'Reilly, he does seem to be getting a lot of good minutes in that City side, but it's just there is a few, there's just those two flags over that transfer, which is one is Pep and the other is City defense.
I mean, they shipped 4 goals last night.
Yeah.
Like,
To
I know
Fulham,
it's
who have been struggling to score as well.
And like, I think they had virtually no XG Fulham, but still, like, that's not like Arsenal are never going to do that, right? Ever.
No.
Like, it'll be years before they ship 4, probably.
Yeah.
So I think I do probably just about prefer Newcastle. People in the chat asking about the Newcastle fullbacks with like Lewis Hall and Livramento back. I still think with Defcon in the game, I'd prefer Burn or Chow, and they still look good for attacking returns, those two, just as much as any of the fullbacks do.
I don't think Lewis Hall will play 3 games in a week, right?
No, and I'm not sure Livramento will.
Well, I think one of them will have to play this weekend, but...
Yeah, but like 3 games in a week, one of them might do it this week, and then next week it'll be someone else, because they're Champions League, right? They've got so many fixtures that probably not going to happen with both of them. Whereas the centre-backs might well do.
Yeah, I think Chow's the best by far, to be honest. He's a set-piece target as well.
It does look like with Burn playing centre back though, Chow's DEFCON has reduced quite significantly. So I wonder if that's something to keep an eye on for, and maybe Burn is the guy, because it seems like if Lewis Hall plays, Burn's just going to play centre back. But they do have a lot of options at centre back. It seems like they're always injured though.
Talking of Newcastle, let's cover Pope very quickly. I mean, it sounds like he's going to be out until Christmas, which is another 3 game weeks. I think it's difficult to predict whether Ramsdale will keep his place or not, because Pope wasn't very good before he got this injury. But I don't think Ramsdale's like been great. Like the 2 goals that they conceded last night, maybe Pope doesn't keep them out either, but there's not loads of confidence there. I would sell Pope, but I wouldn't buy Ramsdale is probably the answer.
I would buy Sanchez.
No, you wouldn't.
I would.
No, you wouldn't.
If you don't like Raya, and people who own Pope don't like Raya, it seems like that's like the culture war.
You vibe with Verbruggen, don't you? Really?
I'd maybe go for Kelleher if you really want to go cheap, but Raya is, I mean, if you don't have Raya, he's the obvious pick, because Arsenal are actually so far ahead in terms of the expected goals conceded data. It's actually a joke how far ahead Arsenal. It's like Arsenal and everyone else, and then Burnley and everyone else. So yeah, but maybe Kelleher is an option at his price.
I would go Raya, but people, if you don't like Raya, some people just do not like Raya. I think Sanchez is better than Verbruggen. I mean, Verbruggen's got Liverpool, Arsenal, and City away in the next 8. I know you're about to say that the worst defence in the league have better fixtures than that.
Yeah, they do. So
if you want to play Dubravka, you go for it.
In those weeks, Dubravka has Fulham at home, Everton at home, and United at home, I think.
Okay.
I like Verbruggen. I think they've been improved. Yeah, it does work. It's definitely an extra strength to Verbruggen if you're going there.
Brentford have the 5th best expected goals conceded data this season. So that's why I've thrown Kelleher in there. They do look, I mean, you don't think of Brentford as a very solid team defensively, but in terms of the expected data, they look quite solid. So I'd almost just go for a punt on Kelleher if I was to make a goalkeeper transfer. But if I'm being honest, I've not actually looked too heavily into goalkeepers' data.
Cool. Let's have a look at the midfielder. The midfielder of the week after last night. There's only one man that we can talk about, and that is how many games and how many goals do we think Phil Foden is going to play in the next 5 or 6 weeks? And do we think he's going to start at home to Sunderland this weekend before Real Madrid midweek? Phil Foden is one of those players that when he hits a patch of form, he tends to keep it until it drops off, and then he won't score again for weeks. And Semenyo is another one of those players, right? He's a very streaky player, and Foden has seen that at times, right? And Pep has also said that when he's in a good moment, I've got to keep playing him to keep him in that moment. So I think the first thing to say is, I mean, he looks great, right? He looks like a player playing back to what we saw in that 22-23 season when he was so good. The data is also not bad. He also feels like a relief for that City team that they've got another goal threat in it that isn't just Haaland. They've relied so much on Haaland's goals this season that when someone else is starting to score, Pep's going to be reluctant to take that player out of that team when they've relied on Haaland so much. As you can probably hear, I'm a big fan of him, and I have exact money to do Semenyo to Foden, which I think is going to be very popular this week, whether you did it last night because Foden rose in price. Is there any reason to not buy him? And do you think there's a worry for Sunderland at home this week?
Well, I can't, Tom?
I can't afford him, so there's one reason. But no, I wouldn't let that put you off. I mean, he's like, if that, like, Man City are in a title race, you know, they're behind, they're chasing. Why would they bench their informed footballer? You know, it just doesn't make any sense. Surely Doku would come out the team first, or like Bernardo Silva, or, you know.
I mean, he's since game week 4 when he came into the team home to United, he's played 85 minutes in every single Prem game, apart from in game week 5 where he got taken off after 70 minutes away at Arsenal.
Yeah, like, no one's saying Haaland's not going to start, so why is Foden not in the same bracket?
Because I suppose they have alternatives, right? For now. Like, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, the alternative for Pep in that position is Marmoush, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
So Marmoush is about to go to AFCON, so long-term, Foden looks great. Without Marmoush there, who else can they play in that? Cherky in that position, but he seems to like Cherky and Reinders in the same position, right? Mm-hmm. And one of them plus Foden.
I just can't see him dropping Phil Foden.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's always something you have to consider with Pep, but in this form, you've got the form and we've got the recent data in terms of Phil Foden's minutes. Like Harry just said, he's started every single game since game week 4, and he's only been subbed off in the 67th minute one game. Other than that, it's 85 minutes plus. So that's pretty reassuring. I mean, if you have a player like Phil Foden, who in previous seasons always hits double-digit goal contributions, at 8 million, it's worth the risk in terms of the expected minutes, I think.
Yeah. I mean, Pep said about Sunderland, they're so incredible, they are top. Like, he's not going to take Sunderland lightly, is he?
Yeah, but he said that before Leverkusen. He said this is a must-win game and then changed 10 players. Like, I'm not. You don't say that it's a must-win game and then change your whole team. I'm not sure I believe him when he says that. Like, he will look at some of those upcoming games, particularly because they lost to Leverkusen. They're going to have to win some Champions League games, right? This is probably the game there's most risk at when I look at the upcoming games that they've got, right?
Yeah, but I just can't see it. I just can't see it.
Yeah. But then again, it's worth considering the fact that everyone who's getting Foden in is selling Semenyo, who is going to play every single minute. He's 90 minutes nailed on, and they don't have Europe. So, like, is that worth the transfer, is my thought?
I mean, he hasn't scored since game week 7.
Yeah, Semenyo. Yeah. I mean, you could say he's due because he's had about 2 and a bit XGI since he last did something.
Yeah, but it's not 13, that much because, sorry, he had the pen against Villa. So if you take that out...
Oh, was that a penalty? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Then it's nothing. Then it's actually 0 in that game. Because it was 0.79.
Yeah, so like outside of that, he's had 0.27 XGI-wise, 0.4 against Everton, 0.6 to be fair against Sunderland, the pen against Villa, nothing against City really, nothing against Forest, and nothing against Palace. So
yeah, it doesn't look great, but he does play United and Burnley, 16-17. That's what I'm telling myself.
If you had the money, would you do it, Tom?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I would have done it last night if I had the money.
Would you?
If I was 0.1 off, I would have done it. Yeah.
Because I now have exact money to do it. Yeah, I mean, he looks great. There are others talking about Gakpo, Tom, who you've got, who, if he starts again tonight and is playing slightly more central like we saw at the weekend, is one to consider at that price. Again, Minter, if you have don't have the luxury to go up to someone like Foden, I still really like Brighton's fixtures. Or you
He
come down
may
to
be my
someone.
transfer, Minte.
Yeah.
Probably for Enzo, possibly. I don't know. What do you think about Enzo?
I mean,
I love
I think
having Enzo in my team. I absolutely love having him in my team. Like I really do. His data is great. The fixtures are decent, and he plays basically every minute.
that's the thing. It's the minutes. Like, if we are going to continue to play well, I do want a bit of us in my team, and Enzo is the only one you can really have at the moment. But in a couple of weeks, if if I'm selling Semenyo to buy Foden, I've got to either sell Enzo or Mateta to buy Thiago. Like one of the two of them's got to go, which is not a very easy decision.
Is it though? I feel like Mateta is the one to go there. I just really have grown to love having Enzo in my team, and Mateta I've not enjoyed so much recently.
Yeah.
I think Mateta's kind of just regressing. Like, do you think he's like just not that great of a footballer? Like, is this controversial? The fact he misses so many big chances.
He has missed a lot.
Yeah, I mean he does miss loads of big chances, but
But he gets
then
those,
he gets
so yeah.
then he gets a game like Bournemouth and they all go in, and you're like, this is why we need to own him.
Mm.
He's not a bad pick. He's never a bad
No.
pick. He can score against anyone.
But he's up to 8 million now,
Yeah, but Thiago is also pretty good.
6'5". Yeah, yeah. Thiago's a priority. It's yeah. Anyway, we're on midfielders. It sounds like we all love Foden. We think there's a small risk he doesn't start at Sunderland, but we'd all probably predict he does.
Yeah, and then
I think so.
what do you guys think about Gakpo? I mean, obviously I love him because he's just like got 14 points, and you know
I
I'm
really
probably
like
not
him.
going to sell him until I kind of have to. Like,
I really like Gakpo. I think I've been saying I think he's a great pick. I feel like he is always going to be a minutes concern, but it looks like that concern is decreasing as we continue with the season. But you just also look at how many attacking options that Liverpool have. I think anyone who's going to transfer Gakpo in has to be aware of the minutes risk. But if you own him in your team, like I'd love to own him in my team.
Yeah.
I think he'll miss one game of the next like 6, and I think most players probably will.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, you say they've got loads of attacking options, but he's the only one that actually does something regularly. I mean, maybe Isak's about to go on a
I think
run
Isak
like
is
that.
going to pick up form. By the way, I think.
I think Ekatike will start tonight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But yeah, just before we go on, there's over 700 of you watching. So if you want to like the stream, that would be fantastic, and subscribe. I want to throw one more midfielder into the mix before we move on. The second best Bruno in the league scored last night in Bruno Guimaraes. Now, the only issue with Newcastle is they do have Lewis Miley, who can basically come in for any of those midfielders when they need a rest, as we saw last night. But maybe you say, well, he's had his rest now, right? He does look really good. His DEFCON is getting better. He's hit it in like 2 of the last 4. Scored against Spurs off the bench. Scored against City. His home form in particular is great. Like, I think all his goals this season have come at home. He scored at home to Liverpool, home to Forest, home to Fulham, and home to Spurs with 2 assists at home to City. He looks really good. His minutes tend to be pretty good. Any thoughts on him?
He's another one I'm considering a lot. It's just after Burnley, like then it's Sunderland, Chelsea, Man United, 3 away games in 4. You've just said how good his home form is.
Yeah.
He played as the 6 against Everton because Tonali got rested, so there is that to be wary of. The fact he can drop in. Obviously, he did get DEFCONs.
He got DEFCONs.
Yeah, he did get DEFCONs. But I don't know. I was just slightly tempted by Gordon for a week. If that's bold. Burnley at home before 5 free transfers.
Why not?
I mean, why?
Because he's going to start. He's a big...
Yeah. I'd rather buy a player that if I end up having to keep them, then I'm happy with that, which I feel more comfortable with Bruno. I wouldn't want to hold Gordon long term because I'm not sure he's first choice at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a 1 week punt. You'd probably have to move on, so maybe it's not worth it. But
Do you think he definitely starts?
yeah, I mean, I was looking at Barnes' minutes. I think he started the last six, Harvey Barnes.
Yeah, exactly.
And Gordon scored. And Eddie Howe he just needs any excuse to drop Barnes for Gordon.
True.
It's always been the case, but...
Yeah, but they've got big Champions League games coming up, right, that they've got to win.
Well, they've got to win their league games as well for top four, don't they? So
True. But away at Bayern Leverkusen midweek, that's pretty big.
I mean, Gordon could eat... Yeah, I mean, I'm probably not going to do it, but it's probably not worth wasting time on, but like...
Yeah.
But yeah,
I just think it's not
Minte.
worth the
Can we
risk.
go back to Minte? Do you think he's like... If I... Obviously, I can't get Foden. I could get Minte or Bruno. What do you guys think about that?
Minte or it's Bruno Guimaraes, sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
I would say I feel like Mint is maybe just higher upside pick than Bruno. I don't know, is that even like if the data backs that up
I
whatsoever?
mean, he doesn't
But
score goals. That's the only thing with Minte.
Yeah,
yeah.
one goal, 7 assists, but just a whopping 7 assists from 2xA this season. But XA is a bit useless at times.
Didn't
but,
Watkins get about 16 from 4 or something?
Yeah. I'd go Minter. Like the fixtures, Villa at home tonight. My only concern is, do we think he's fully nailed? Because Brighton still have so many wingers. Now, without Matoma there, they don't have as many, and he plays so many minutes. But if just over Christmas, right, if he just suddenly missed out in a game, I don't think any of us would be that surprised. But that's every player. I like him at 6-3. I think the fixtures, West Ham at home, Sunderland at home, West Ham away, Burnley at home in the next 6 is
Yeah,
great.
he plays West Ham twice in the next 6, which is reason enough to buy him, I think.
Yeah.
And obviously, with
Burnley.
no Europe, their next
Yeah.
game's a weekend.
I love that
Yeah.
about him as well. I think that should be probably one of the biggest points in his favor.
Yeah. I'd buy him over Bruno Guimaraes.
May well be what I do.
If I had the money, I would have gone with him over Anderson, but I didn't have the money.
So you're
So,
getting
yeah, I
bored
really like
already.
Minter. I know. I was bored before I even bought him.
Is Foden, just to
cool.
finish, is Foden to Semenyo worth a hit? Sorry, Semenyo to Foden, someone asking in the chat.
So if you're going to be, I don't think it's worth a hit this week, but I would say if you're going to be priced out of it, and I mean next week in 16, you might have another way to free up money, and then it's not worth a hit. But
if Foden plays Sunderland and Madrid, the rotation sirens are going to be loud,
Yeah.
and it's Palace away.
I mean, if he misses Palace away, that's all right.
Yeah,
He's
but
not going to miss Palace away, though.
I suppose it would be free then next week, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's the thing. It would be free. Would I do it for a hit?
I don't like taking hits. I wouldn't do it for a hit.
No, I think I probably wouldn't.
I mean, the Bournemouth are playing Chelsea, so
I know. I just think there's enough doubt in my mind about Foden starting to probably put me off it. But what I would say is if in 16 you have no obvious way of getting the money for it, like no obvious way at all, like all the other transfers you want to do next week are all upgrades, then maybe consider it, but only in a very set scenario that you won't be able to buy him next week if you don't do it. But because we get 5 free transfers next week, I'd rather not, I think.
Yeah.
yeah. Forwards.
Yeah, I mean, there's only really one to talk about at the moment, isn't there? After he's played Arsenal tonight, as long as he plays, because he is still technically a doubt for the game, it's Haaland and Thiago, isn't it?
There has to be a little shout out for Woltemade here, I feel.
Go on, let's hear the Woltemade talk.
I mean, I have João Pedro in my team, and I also have Semenyo. And my decision this week is whether to go Semenyo to Foden or João Pedro to Woltemade. And I'm leaning heavily towards Woltemade here. I think the fixtures are there. I mean, he's shown he can do it in the Prem. Burnley at home is just such an amazing entry point. There's no better fixture in the league. Yeah, I just really like, if you're making a forward transfer this week, and then you get 5 free transfers next week. Why not go for Woltemade, see how he feels in your team, and then, if you want to get Thiago maybe further down the line, then go for it. But in terms of a high upside transfer this game week, I would go for Woltemade.
I think that's fair. Like from 16, when Thiago goes Leeds at home, Wolves away, you're gonna want him for 16, right? So if that spot is your only way to get him, like you could end up with both, but Johan Vissa's not going to AFCON, so there's that to add in. But for a 1 week punt before you get 5 free transfers, if you wanted to go Voltemada, I don't have an issue with that.
Yeah, I mean, a forward line of Haaland, Thiago, Woltemade sounds pretty nice. I can get rid of Mateta with my 5 free transfers as well. Um, but yeah, I really like him as a pick. I actually think Thiago's a better FPL pick in general. Like in the long term, at his price, like the value he provides at his price is nuts. Um, I think he's a better FPL pick than Voltemade. But in terms of picking a forward this game week, and just with the whole context of getting those free transfers next week, yeah, I really like Voltemade as a pick.
So I do just want to raise a point from Andy in the chat. Is there a chance Voltemada doesn't start Burnley? Now, I don't want to sow seeds of doubt in a pick that's very good against Burnley, but he has played a lot of minutes, and it is Burnley at home before they then have Leverkusen away, before their huge game away at Sunderland the following weekend. There is a lot of fixtures for him. There is probably a bit of a risk.
And are you saying Gordon would start ahead of him?
Gordon or is
Because
Osula fit?
He's not fit.
Osula's
He's not
fit.
fit.
Osula and
Oh,
Wissa are both out. But yeah, I can see Gordon playing there. He's obviously done it before. He's not been good when he's done it, but do you really need, you're
yeah.
all firing from all cylinders against Burnley? No. So yeah, that does creep into my mind slightly.
Just on his minutes, between the October and November international break, Voltemada started 7 consecutive games with
Okay.
midweek weekend consistently. Although he did come off against at half time against West Ham with Howe
Yeah.
saying he needs to freshen it up. Since the November break, he started, then he was benched, then he started and started. So he had a rest 10 days ago.
Okay.
No, 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
No, a week ago. He had a rest a week ago against Marseille, the 25th of November. But obviously, if he starts Burnley, Sunderland, and did you say Leverkusen? That would be 5 consecutive
Yes.
starts. So I think he's more likely to start than not, I would say.
They play Burnley twice in the next 5 games. I've just realized.
They play Burnley twice in the next 5, yeah.
Yeah, that's something to consider, I think.
I like him. I just wouldn't buy him if it means not buying Thiago.
Fair. Yeah, yeah, that's fair enough.
Because like if you buy him and then you're going to look at being like, oh, in a few weeks he plays Burnley, Leeds, and Wolves, and then you're not going to buy Thiago, then I wouldn't buy him in the first place.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good point.
What if João Pedro is benched tonight? I'm pretty sure he's going to start against Bournemouth, Harry. I don't know about you, but I would say Maresca will want him up top against Bournemouth. Probably
Who,
with
João
Palmer
Pedro?
behind him, yeah.
Yes.
And then maybe Delap and Palmer tonight.
I think we might see Delap, João Pedro tonight, and Delap taken off. Palmer come on for João Pedro at like 60, and then Palmer, João Pedro at the weekend.
Fair enough.
If you're looking for a short-term striker that's not Voltemada, as Zay to me is said in the chat, if we're looking at Brighton, why not Welbeck? West Ham at home this week, Sunderland at home in 17, West Ham away, and Burnley at home. The only issue with him is it's slightly harder to bury him when he does go away to Liverpool and Arsenal in 16 and 18, whereas you can with other Brighton players, I feel.
Subbed off on 64 against Forest. Although you would maybe say that's to protect him for tonight.
Yeah, tonight's a huge, huge game for Brighton. Probably the best game tonight in terms of table positions, because it feels like all the other big teams are playing small teams. But No, I
Whoa,
like
whoa, whoa,
Welbeck.
whoa! You can't say that.
Leeds are a small club, aren't they?
Right now they are. Yeah, it feels like there's no like really difficult fixtures for any team except for the Brighton Villa game. But yeah, we'll see how Welbeck gets on in that. I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I feel like he's been in the Prem so long. I see him as like such an old player that is going to need to have his minutes managed, which obviously he will. But you have to also look at the fact that, Brighton are only playing on the weekends now, so he'll be protected in that sense.
One more forward I'm going to throw into the mix. 6.2 million. Raul Jimenez.
Oh my
Fixtures,
Chris,
fixtures, fixtures.
Palace at
fixtures.
home, Burnley away, Forest at home, West Ham away in the next four. I mean, I probably
And
wouldn't
he's
do it, but
nailed.
he is nailed with Muniz out.
Hmm.
If like Thiago got injured tonight or something,
Yeah.
God forbid, obviously, or Mateta,
Hmm.
Burnley, Forest, and West Ham. I know that. Sorry, they've already played. Sorry, it's Palace, but like Burnley, Forest, West Ham is an incredible three.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
that's
is.
amazing.
And when people get to 16 with 5 free transfers and they're looking at short-term fixtures, Fulham will be at the top of it.
Mateta to Jimenez frees up about 2 million as well.
Thing is, he's close enough to Thiago that I just wouldn't do it, though. That's the issue.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing as well. It's like at that point it's Raul or Thiago, and
I know where I'm going.
But I
yeah,
could do
yeah.
like Mateta and Semenyo to like Saka and Jimenez. When Saka plays Wolves and Jimenez plays Burnley.
Unpopular opinion, but I'd prioritise Thiago over Saka.
I've already got Thiago.
All right, then, yeah. Then Jimenez is fine.
Yeah.
As a
Or
third
dare I
forward.
say it, a certain Mr. Palmer.
No,
Hoo-hoo.
no. We're getting carried away here. Maresca's already said that he wants to manage his minutes, and we've seen him manage Reece James well and just not play him in games when he needs to manage him, and we'll see the same with Palmer, I think. Like, we've been
I
playing well.
disagree with that slightly. I think he will start, I don't know, 4 of our next 5 Premier League games.
I am not certain he'd start at home to Everton.
But what's
But
the
he might
spacing?
not.
Don't we play Cardiff?
Yeah.
Isn't that League Cup or something?
Yeah, maybe he will play. Yeah, maybe. But I don't think he'll play both of the next two. Like, I don't think he'll play Leeds and Bournemouth, but I suppose Leeds isn't relevant now. So maybe he's all right, but
After Everton, it's League Cup. So
yeah, that's true. But I need to see something from him before I go and buy him, I
we'll
think.
see
Yeah,
that in
yeah.
about 6 hours' time.
We will see. I would absolutely love if he became an option in FPL again because it would just change the whole landscape. Same thing with Isak. It'll make things very interesting if these two premium assets start actually playing football again.
Yeah, right. Let's have a look at some teams. Tom, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I can go first. So as it stands for the podcast, I have got Raya, Van Dijk, Timber, Munoz, Gakpo, Enzo, Semenyo, Fernandez, Mateta, Thiago, and Haaland captain. On my bench is Dubravka, Michael Keane, who is flagged, which is very annoying, and Potts and Mukiele. With City away, unfortunately, I feel like kind of it comes down to whether Munoz gets booked tonight, which I know you were egging on the weekend, Harry, with your tweets. That's a card. It wasn't. But yeah, so because if he's suspended, I've got an injured Keane or Mukiele at City, which isn't great.
I don't think
I
he'll
can't
get
afford
like.
chat.
I don't think he
we've
gets
got
booked
no
against
idea
Burnley.
about that.
I know, but like, if there's a game where he's not going to risk that tackle, it's surely Burnley, right?
Yeah, I think he's quite a hot-blooded footballer anyway, but
Hmm.
I hope you're right. But yeah, so Keane getting injured is not ideal, and Chow, I was about to call him Thor like you did once, Stephen.
Yeah.
Him going up last night means I can't do Keane to Chow. So that's kind of... And there's not really anyone 4'9" or under, apart from Vandenberg, who I kind of rate, to be honest. So if Munoz gets suspended, I'm kind of screwed. But if he doesn't, I will probably do either Enzo or Semenyo to Minte. Yeah. I was going to say or Bruno, but I think I would go Minte. So you got any preferences on Enzo or Semenyo? It's just Semenyo with United and Burnley.
Mhm.
I don't know. But then we got transfers, so it's like, yeah. What do you think?
It's just if that money from Semenyo, what does it do? Like, where do you think you'll spend it?
I could get. How much would I have? 7-7 minus 6-1 is 1-6.
Surely you're
I'd have
like,
two.
surely can't you sell both of them over the next two and get Foden? I do Minter and Foden.
I suppose I could buy Foden in 16. Yeah, that's a great shout. Hadn't thought of that. But
Yeah,
There you
so
go.
it's like, so you take out whichever one you don't want this week to Minter for West Ham, and then you do the other one to Foden next week.
Semenyo I would take out.
the
If
only
he
thing
plays
with
Chelsea, right?
yeah, but then Semenyo's got Burnley. But yeah, maybe I'm focusing too much on that. The only thing is Minte does have Liverpool away and Arsenal away soon.
Yeah.
But if my plan is keen to Vandenberg in 16, who has Leeds at home, to bench Minte. So if I can work the Arsenal away game, then yeah, that's probably a good shout of Foden.
Yeah.
Foden and Minte. So yeah, that's pretty straightforward. Until Munoz just pulls back Anthony on the break tonight.
I'll be there cheering it on.
It's in the script. It's in the script.
But yeah, so I think that's pretty straightforward for me.
I'll be there knee sliding across my kitchen when Munoz gets booked.
After taking his top off from scoring, you mean?
Yeah,
He
that's
didn't even
maybe.
take it off, man. He was he was a tribute to his friend. That was poor.
Yeah,
That
outrageous.
was. Yeah.
It was. Yeah.
Okay, Harry, you're next.
Yeah, so one transfer again for me this week. I've got Raya, Van Dijk, Timber, and then I've got to play one of Anderson and Richards playing against each other. And I've got Mateta, so maybe I end up playing Richards and just hope that Palace win away at Fulham. But Palace look tired at the weekend. So I've got Anderson in the moment, Enzo, Bruno, Saka, and Elliot Anderson, Haaland, and Mateta with Semenyo. It looks all right. I've not got the best looking team this week, but I've got a lot of players that I still trust, and I've got exact money now to do Semenyo to Foden. I've not made the transfer yet. I accepted the Foden price rise last night because I wanted to see all of the games tonight because I've got so many players in it. Like, if someone got injured tonight and I'd already done Semenyo to Foden, I would have kicked myself for it. So I will probably, if I want to buy Foden, I have to buy him tonight because it looks like Semenyo is going to drop, and that's going to impact my selling price. And if let's say Foden didn't do anything, I'm not sure what transfer I'd be looking at this week, apart from that Semenyo to Foden move. Like, I don't see anything obvious. I could do Mateta to Thiago, but that can wait to 16. I would only do it this week if I had nothing else to do. So yeah, the only issue with the Semenyo to Foden is I plan to upgrade Richards to Munoz with that Mateta to Thiago money, and I wouldn't have the money for it, which is slightly annoying. But I could just go Lacroix or just go for someone else instead, like an O'Reilly or something instead, or a Chow. So
Would you really do
I
that
think
with him on 4 yellows?
I mean, I still like him long term.
Since I did the Lacroix to Munoz swap, I think Lacroix has actually scored more points.
Oh God.
So I could, yeah.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
I don't know what you think
Yeah.
about that, but like
Now he's up to 6 million. The more he costs, the less I feel like it's worth it. So yeah, at the moment, Semenyo to Foden looks likely unless anything changes my thinking tonight. And then 5 free transfers next week by Thiago somehow.
you're gonna look at what the models say for captaincy or Haaland.
Haaland.
Yeah.
I trust Haaland whoever he's playing, so he'll get the armband.
Yeah, fair enough.
I won't make that mistake again myself.
But Bruno will just go and get a penalty at Wolves and outscore him.
I hope so. Let's see.
I still got the triple captain, but I'm saving it for West Ham.
Yeah, I wish I'd done that. Stephen, you're on screen.
Yes. So for the podcast, I've got Raya in nets, a back four of Munoz, Konate, Timber, and Chow. Midfield three of Enzo, Semenyo, and Bruno, and then up top Haaland, Mateta, João Pedro. Yeah, I mean, before Foden went nuclear last night, I was pretty set on João Pedro to Woltemade, so I could have him for Burnley at home. Another option I can go for is just Semenyo to Foden. I was also considering Rangers as a transfer out to our beloved Elliot Anderson, but after after the goal last night, I'm just happy to have him in my team for once this year. But yeah, it's just about I don't know. I'm deciding on the upside of like I'm probably going to get Foden into my team in game week 16 if I don't. So I could just go for Voltemade this game week for João Pedro, but then I'll probably look at Mateta and be like, I want Thiago in. Obviously, I'll have free transfers next game week, so I could do all those moves. But if I'm making one of those moves this game week, I feel like Voltemade outscores Foden, so I'll probably go for that.
I would do João Pedro to Voltemade.
Harry had a crazy look on his face when I said Voltemade outscores
But
Foden.
Harry's gonna say like you don't want Thiago. You're like it's just it's an extra transfer to Thiago next week. But
Yeah, it's fine if you get both. If you're fine to sell Mateta,
I'm happy to do Mateta to Thiago next week.
fine.
but then you'd be stuck with Voltemade.
Stuck with Woltemade, who plays Burnley twice in 5 game weeks.
True. Yeah. No, that's fair.
True. I don't mind João Pedro to Woltemade. I think I'd prefer the Semenyo to Foden move though.
The other thing I was thinking is like, who do I want instead of do I want to hold on to Semenyo against Chelsea at home or João Pedro against Bournemouth away? Arguably, I'd probably prefer João Pedro. But again, his minutes aren't as certain as Semenyo's. So that was also slightly part of the decision there. I haven't actually made a decision. I'm acting as if I've made it yet, but no, I'm leaning slightly towards the Voltemade move just because I feel like Semenyo gets more minutes against Chelsea, or I could just bench him and play Reinders. So yeah, decisions to be made there. Harry, you sound like you do the Foden move. I don't know what Tom, you'd do the Voltemade move.
Yeah,
Tom can't afford Foden, so he doesn't want anyone to buy him.
But Burnley are like horrendous. Like they concede way more XG than any other team. They conceded way more big chances than any other team.
Yeah.
That's the fixture to get. And Sunderland are actually quite good. So
Yeah, but Bournemouth also don't look great.
No, they don't. They don't.
yeah, I mean Harry was pretty. You were quite convinced that João Pedro will start twice, whereas I kind of assumed it would only be one. But
I think he starts Bournemouth. Basically.
yeah, I agree because it's back four. He says Maresca says he's better against back fours, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he starts Bournemouth because I don't think he'll play Delap up front. Delap's been a bit rubbish.
It's a bit of a like a. What's one of those like things you hit like a trampoline? Yeah, he's a bit like a trampoline.
Yeah.
The ball doesn't really stick to him that much.
No,
but
he's just like he reminds me of Broya a lot. He just sort of runs around and bashes people over and doesn't do much with the ball.
He had the most yellows in the Prem last year.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Like, I don't see us going with Delap and not João Pedro against Bournemouth. So, like, João Pedro and Foden or Semenyo and Woltemade. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I'll probably just not make a decision and burn the transfer.
It's interesting that you're pretty like you haven't even discussed Enzo, whereas I'm saying like I want to either sell Enzo or Semenyo.
Yeah.
Guess you can't afford it. We can't do Enzo to Foden, right?
I can't. I only have 7.4 when I upgrade Enzo. But yeah, I don't know. I'm happier to have Enzo on my team than Semenyo right now, just because I feel like they're producing probably similar points, but Enzo is much cheaper. But yeah, if I was to make the decision today, it would be João Pedro to Voltemade, I think.
I don't think either of them are bad transfers as well. Like, I don't think you can look at it at the weekend once you've done it and think I made the wrong move. I think both of them are pretty good.
Yeah, fair. I mean, I don't make bad FPL transfers, so
You're just getting lucky.
yeah, that's it. I'm just unlucky, isn't it?
Which Fulham midfielder are you going to buy next?
Whoever doesn't play and doesn't get any FPL points, probably.
King almost scored last night.
Chukwueze's on fire.
Yeah.
In he comes. Right, Tom, did you say there was a super chat?
Yeah, there's actually 3 super chats.
Cool.
I do one of them. First is thank you very much for these, by the way, guys, and over 900 people watching. So people are excited for tonight. It seems. Is Krupi worth the 0.4 over Giu as an 8th attacker?
I mean, he started last night.
He plays minutes.
The issue you've got
is quite sizable.
you're never
Yeah.
gonna feel confident in playing him. Like when he gets to in a couple of weeks, they've got like Burnley at home. Like you're like, oh, I might start him, but you've got no chance of knowing he starts. So I wouldn't.
You just go
Yeah.
Gio and then like kind of put your defenders ahead of Gio on the bench and
Agreed. Yeah, I was going to say the same.
Yeah, like
Cool.
Hughes on my bench. He just sits third bench every week. Doesn't move. He's just got his deck chair out. That'll be him this season.
what was that, Gio, did you say?
Yeah, just third on my bench, sipping his cocktail.
Nice.
Arguably he
Yeah.
deserves more minutes over to that, but I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah, that's like the thing I said is, and the same with Krupi is you might get a week that you think they're going to start, but that doesn't mean they do anything, right? I remember there was a week where suddenly Evan Nilsson was out and Guiu was also going to start, and everyone was buying them, and
That
they
was
both
Sunderland
blanked.
at home, yeah, when we lost.
Yeah, and suddenly they both blanked. So just because they start doesn't mean they're actually going to do any points. And then the week after, you've got the issue of them. So I would just buy Guiu.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, fair.
The question is, would you have Foden instead of Saka or Bruno? So maybe we can rank those three if you're wildcarding.
If I was wild carding, ooh.
Bruno top for me.
I just love Bruno.
Yeah.
It's the consistency.
Yeah, agreed.
And then
90 minute man.
I think you play the form with Foden over Saka for 2 million cheaper.
Yeah, I think I take the money. I take the two cheaper options. I take Bruno top, then Foden, then Saka.
Yep, same.
Cool. And then another one from FPL. Matetas and Semenyo to Thiago and Foden using free transfers would allow Munoz to Timber in 16.
Give me your phone and I'll do it for you.
Yeah. Do it now.
Yeah, Thiago.
I mean,
and
do it
Foden
after the
this week.
games. Yeah, but like Thiago is great and Foden is great. I love those two transfers. But of course, just wait for tonight's games.
Yeah, and then I mean Mateta to Timber in 16. I probably
And
Munoz to Timber.
yeah, sorry, I probably would do that in 17 when Munoz plays City and Timber plays
No,
Wolves.
that's 16.
Is it? Yeah, I'm getting confused
Yeah.
because we're in 14, aren't we? Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, 16. That's a nice transfer. I mean,
Yeah.
I would want Munoz long term, but
I mean,
I
he
just
might, he
want
could,
double
if,
Arsenal.
especially if he's suspended for 16.
Yeah, I wonder, is there another defender you could upgrade, depending on how much money you have left over? I know Timber's like 6.4 now, but ideally Munoz wouldn't be the defender you get rid of, but
yeah.
if there's someone else, have a look.
And in 16, you've got all the transfers to potentially free up money to do that. Like, I'd try and keep Munoz, I think. If
Same.
you've got him, yeah.
Point in the chat, Harry. Are you worried that Gia will block you a third Chelsea?
Oh,
Not really.
No, fair enough. You wouldn't.
I
want
don't
to
really
own
see
three
which-
from the title winners anyway, would you?
I mean, I'm buying Foden this week, so.
Oh, there you
Oh.
go. He's sharp. He's quick, isn't he?
yeah.
You notice it wasn't Arsenal.
No,
Arteta's quaking in his boots
he
today.
is. He is.
He was thinking about playing Ben White, and then he was like, "Well, that's not happening. Ben White, back to the bench you go."
Are we
Can't take any
confident?
risks.
Famous last words. Are we confident that Timber will play tonight?
I hope he doesn't. I just got him in. I hope he doesn't get any minutes.
Yeah.
He probably
I mean,
does.
I'm less confident than most weeks, but yeah.
Cool. Well, we'll end on that note then.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this on the podcast tomorrow, you can laugh at that take.
Yeah. Right. Thank you all very much for joining. Thank you for all the comments, the likes, the new subscribers. Welcome. If it's your first time tuning in to the FPL watch list, we are back here every Wednesday, the three of us, to talk about the game weeks, and we will be back pretty much every game week over the Christmas period as well, as best we can. Thank you all for watching. Yeah, please do like if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new to the Scout channel. Tom, Stephen, thank you both very much, and everyone in the chat. We will see you next week.
Good luck, guys.
Enjoy tonight, guys.